What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Tank Time here. We're going to continue on the CT90 restoration kind of videos here. So one of my subscribers reached out to me because of my rebuild video on the engine, and reached out to me and he needed some work done. He wants his engine done, and he brought his whole dang bike to me all the way from Louisiana. So I'm going to do what I can to help him out and to show him that I appreciate his support on the channel. So today we're going to be working on his fuel tank. Let me flip the camera around and I'll show you what's inside. Alright, this is his fuel tank off of a 71 or 72 CT90. I have to go look at the data tag to confirm. But so the first thing I did when I got this bike was looked inside the fuel tank just to see what kind of condition it was in, and isn't that terrible? Just kidding. Let's see if I can get my light in here. Anyways, it's rusty in there. So what I did is I've used some POR15 on some previous projects, and I was very impressed with their product. So they make a fuel tank repair kit here, and comes in this box. What happens is you get 2 quarts of cleaner and degreaser, a metal prep, and a sealer here. So when we get done with this tank, it should have a fresh sealant in it, and this will fix any pinholes if the rust is too bad, which I don't think it is. If it's too bad, it'll seal in the pinholes, and this tank will look great when it's done, and it'll last for many years. So we're gonna do this tank, and I'll bring y'all along with me, and we'll see how she turns out. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is give the tank a good rinse before we even start. So I'm gonna take it to the hose, I'll spray it all out inside, come back, and we will need to tape up our openings for the main fuel lines here. Not worried about the top, that's how we're gonna dump our stuff in. So, and then we can always put the cap on if we need to, just shake it around. So I'm gonna go rinse it out, and I'll be back and we'll tape up these holes. So we're ready for our degreaser here. I just got done flushing the tank out, and just use duct tape. It says to use duct tape to plug your hole, so I did. Hopefully it holds up. And gloves, safety glasses, and Miller Lite. We're good to go. So we will dump our degreaser in. 1 quart of degreaser. Now the directions calls for an additional quart with your degreaser to add 1 quart of warm water. So I got the water heating up right now. I'm gonna go fill this up and we'll dump this in. And 1 quart of warm water, we'll dump this in. Since there's some rust in there, I'm gonna stick some nuts and bolts in there, kind of break it all up. Alright, so nuts and bolts are in, degreaser's in, warm water's in. We need to shake, rotate, front flips, back flips, all kinds of stuff with this for 30 minutes. Holy shit, 30 minutes is a long time to be shaking a damn fuel tank full of water. But we're there. Let's dump this out, rinse it out, and see if we have to do it again. I hope not. Well, that was messy. Alright, I've decided I'm going to go ahead and use the 2nd quart of the degreaser just because I have it. Why not? I got nothing but time. Got pretty decent results with just the degreaser. I mean, it's still rust in the tank, but all that will come out with the metal prep that we're going to be putting in after this. So we'll do the quart of degreaser and another quart of warm water. Throw some nuts and bolts in there and give her the old razzle dazzle. Alright, I just rinsed out the second round of degreaser. Not much came out that time. Most of it all came out in the first rinse. As you've seen earlier, I don't think it was necessary to do the second one. I'm not saying that yours won't be necessary, but I had the bottle, so I just figured we'd go ahead and do it. So next we're ready for the metal prep. Metal prep is like a phosphoric acid solution. So this time, instead of using the gas cap with this rubber on it, I'm going to use duct tape like I did on the bottle, or on the bottom of the tank. And that's what POR 15 recommends to use, the duct tape. So I will dry this area here after and clean it up so the duct tape sticks, and we'll do it. So we're ready for metal prep. So perfect. Didn't spill a drop. Take some alcohol here. Clean up this rim. POR 15 says to rotate the tank every 30 minutes. So we're going to rotate it on its side, let it sit for 30 minutes, let the acid do its thing. Rotate it again, let it sit on the front. Let it eat the rust up and on the front for 30 minutes. Turn it on its other side for 30 minutes. Then tilt it back on its back for 30 minutes. And should be good. And then we'll rinse it with warm water. Okay, so we'll start with it on its side. Check back in with you guys in about 30 minutes and we'll rotate it over to the next spot. Alright, 30 minutes is up. On to the next. 30 more minutes, we'll flip it again. Alright, 30 minutes is up. We'll go ahead and give it the old spin. Almost there. Alright, time's up. Alright, we need to make sure that the tank inside is 100% bone dry before we add the sealer to it. So what I did is I got my heat gun on the low setting, and I'm doing some work in the garage cleaning up. So while I'm doing that, I'll have this on, and so I can monitor everything, make sure it's not doing nothing crazy. But we need to get that thing bone dry inside, and then we can add the sealer. Okay, so we're ready to seal the tank here. I got my fuel tank sealer here. It's nice and dry inside the tank. It's been degreased, metal prep, dried out, ready for sealant. So we're gonna pour this whole container into the tank, and then slowly roll the tank to make sure the whole inside gets covered with the sealant, and then we'll drain the rest out through the holes here. And we got to make sure that no puddling occurs inside, which is kind of tricky on this tank because this portion here, let's see if I can get you a better angle. This portion here is lower than the ports here, so it all likes to like puddle up in here. I'm gonna plug these holes up. You know what I just got in the mail yesterday? Stand by. I'm thinking about getting into Cerakoting. So I bought a bunch of plugs, and this will help with my dry blasting and vapor blasting as well. But if you guys would like to see some Cerakoting videos, leave me a comment below and let me know, because that'll just give me the motivation I need to pull the trigger on a kit for it. So those will work great. But I don't have one big enough for the top, so once I get the sealant in there. I'll duct tape the top. So it's very important we get this mixed up very well. So we just got to mix it until it's all the same color. You see right now it's not all one color, and I'm sure all the contents is sitting real thick on the bottom. So we'll just yeah. That's what's sitting on the bottom. So we need to mix this up really good. Okay, I draped a towel down the tank, so I'm sure you guys know how it is pouring out anything from a paint can. It likes to get messy. So just make sure it doesn't run down the tank. I'll do the same on the table here. Give this a final stir here. I'll go ahead and pour it in. Alright, we're just going to slowly roll this thing. Alright, we got a nice even coat inside the tank there. So we're ready to drain it out. Go ahead and just pop these plugs here and let it run back into the can. Okay, so we drained all the sealant out that we can, you know. This tank has a weird shape to it. The lowest point of the tank isn't actually where the fuel outlets are to your carburetor. It's actually, like I showed you earlier, right in front. So it's very, very hard to get all this sealant out of here. So what I did was I tilted it on its front and let all of the excess run to the front. And what I'm doing is here, taking a syringe with the tube on it and kind of just sucking all the excess out. And I'll leave just a tiny bit in there. That way I can fill in where the hose was touching in there, kind of fill it all in. So. Alright guys, we'll let that sit for 96 hours to fully harden up before we put any fuel into it. This thing ain't going to get fuel in it for a while, so that 96 hours will be fine for me. I'm still a couple weeks away from doing that. I still got an engine rebuild to do, and vapor blast his engine, and all kinds of stuff. So that's how you use the POR15 fuel sealer kit. Turned out great. I'll put some pictures right after this clip here, before and after, because as we seen last time, it's hard to get a good picture in there. So yeah, great product. I'm very happy with the results. It's the main thing, just getting all that sealant as much as you can out of there after you drain it. So it took me a while, but the syringe really helped a lot. So I'm pretty confident that we got all the excess out, and we'll just let it cure and we'll see how it looks when she's done. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet, and be on the lookout for some more content coming soon. I think I'm gonna pull the trigger on a new RFZ, or the Z20 or the Z20 Max. I haven't decided which one yet, but so we'll buy it brand new, go through some upgrades on it. So be on the lookout for that. So make sure you hit subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. Peace.